Am I in the frame?
Yeah.
Am I in focus?
Yes.
All right, Lube Tubers, welcome back. Jamie Bruce here. Put up a video of some speed side imaging about a month ago. You know, side imaging and seeing detail around 40 miles an hour. Got a pile of questions, filled up the inbox. Everyone wants to know, so I'm gonna walk you step by step through how to do it, how to set it up, what you need, everything like that. I haven't seen any videos. I scoured the Lube Tube and to my surprise, I haven't seen any videos like it, so you know, as a wannabe pro bass angler fishing the Bassmaster Opens, kind of the reality is you have to sell your tips if you got them. So we're gonna do that here. I gotta ask that you subscribe if you're here. Like I said, we pretty much have to yard sale all our information, and you know, a couple subscribers keeps everything rolling, keeps videos coming like this. Appreciate that, and let's get into it here. Here's a little bit of footage of, you know, it in action. You can see 39 miles an hour. You can see you're not going to be able to see like everything as you go, but you really need it. It really helps like hard bottom stick out. If you're fishing somewhere without a map, you know, you can start seeing hard bottom before you crack a rock, or finding structure and boulders and you know, anything hard. So you're not going to go flying down the lake and mark a school of bass or walleye. It's just not going to happen. But I have seen some cool stuff doing this too. Lake Eufaula, Oklahoma, you know, noticed a flicker, turned around, slowed down, and I'm pretty sure I found Nessie or Chappie or whatever the lake monsters are called. I don't know what this is. I put it on the gram and no one could really give me an answer. Maybe you can explain it to me. I thought I was decent on side imaging, but I can't tell the thing apart from the Loch Ness Monster. So take your best guess below. Hopefully someone's got not a guess and just the actual answer. I'm really curious to know. But anyway, let's get into the boat. All right, so part of this process every year for me, you know, my big deal is that I rig my own boat from scratch every year. This is a big Lund 2075 Pro V Bass. I've been using these forever, love the boat, you know, and I've gotten pretty good at rigging it from scratch. You can do this on aluminum boats, fiberglass boats. I don't know what else they make them out of, maybe Kevlar. Spent some time in a speedboat. I don't know if he's gonna be pumping holes in his hull to put a deucer in, but this is the Lund rigger from scratch, and that's kind of where it all starts. You know, I've got powerhouse lithium batteries. I got a 16 volt for all my electronics on the front, and then I'm actually running my side imaging units back to a 12 volt lithium cranking battery. So 16 volter might help a little bit with this, but I'm getting a lot of power. You know, it's just a short run from there. I'm using 10 gauge shielded wire, no switches or anything in between, just fuse the wire right direct to my powerhouse battery. And you know, it's important to have clean power. You're not just gonna be able to plug it into a damn thermostat wire and expect to be able to, you know, achieve these high-end results. So that's kind of where it starts. All right, so here's my setup in the big Lund. I've got a 12-inch Solix SI and a 12-inch Garmin EchoMap 126. You know, you might be looking at me like, what a damn snob. He's got 24 inches of grasp, but I'm trying to do this for a living. I need every advantage I can get. I'm fishing against some of the best in the world, so, you know, save your comments. I had to save up my nickels real hard for these beauties, but anyway, units aren't super important. I have a side imaging transducer for this one and a side imaging transducer for that one. You don't, obviously, you don't need that, but it's just part of my system. So on the port side, you know, the left side, that's where all the prop wash goes from my big Merc back there. So if you're ripping along, you're not going to be able to get a clear image on the left side, and that's a big factor. You know, I see it all the time. Lots of tiller guys like it on the left side because that's where their rods are, but you're not going to get this image. So, you know, the Solix I use a lot for mapping, and then I'll use it for like detailed finding. And the Garmin is what I've been achieving the you know, the high-end, high-speed results on, and that's largely because it's on this side. So don't think you have to run out and buy each of these graphs or anything like that. You can do this with a 5-inch whatever. That's where it starts. Like I said, I got them straight wired to my powerhouse, 12 volt, 10 gauge, separate runs, good to go. Okay, so I'm on the port side here. Like I said, the prop wash from here comes at that. I see lots of guys put them on their jack plate, and you know, guys that have beat me in enough tournaments that are really good at side imaging, and that's fine for low speed. I like mine down here. This is the Solix side. You know, like I said, that's not the one I'm high speeding off of, but I've got it nice and low on the boat, you know. But you didn't come here for the slow part. We're gonna hop over to the high speeder. just got myself with a flashlight. Hop over to the high speeder. If you haven't subscribed yet, there's still lots of time before I get over there. Here it is here. This is the Garmin GT56. Don't know if that matters yet. I've had these results on a GT54. But yeah, I'll show you how we get her going here. Obviously this is already installed. I've got it on a board here for transducer mounting. It just makes it easier to move it around. You don't have to pump a bunch of holes into your, into your hull. Don't need any more speed holes. But you'll see it's nice and balanced here. This is like a dollar store level. All my good ones are out at the cabin I'm building right now, but it's level that way, plumb, whatever you want to call it. But this is the real important part here. There's a couple important factors. On an aluminum boat, come on down here, dear. So on an aluminum boat, you'll see there's these runs of rivets, every 10 inches or so, or 8 inches or whatever it is. You want to have your deucer in between those on this flat spot. Otherwise, these rivets just create bubbles and they'll go right into your image and you won't get clarity. Bass boat, you can skip that step, any fiberglass boat. And that hole's looking pretty. I got to beat this thing up a little. So that's just beauty there. Deucer's placed in between those. These ones are just there. It's something you have to deal with on an aluminum boat, but keep it away from those. I've got it nice and low here. You can see there's my live oil pickup. There's the center of the hull, drain plug over there. They're both nice and low plates. Here's the deal here. Well, as you can hear, the audio kind of blew out there when I got down there, but pretty much here is what you do. You take a 2-foot level, put it along the bottom of your hull, and just run it flush with your transducer so everything's perfectly in line. You'll see you need to center the screws on the mount for adjustability up and down. And you're probably going to have to play with it a little bit to get it perfect. Sometimes you get lucky. You don't want to be shooting a big rooster tail or anything. And if it's up too high, you obviously won't get any image. I also want to touch on running skimmer transducer, like 2D skimmers to a Y cable. I know that's popular. I used to do that. A lot of people do that. I used to do that. It's an extra expense. It's an extra step. And, it's just more holes that you don't have to drill. So if you get one of these perfect, then you're styling. If you have a glass boat, put the through hull, 2D deucer in, obviously. But yeah, it's not something you need. It just complicates the system. And, what I've learned over the years is the simpler you can get it, the better. So, other than that, that's about it. If you put it too low, you're going to be seeing a big roosty tail. You don't need that. If you put it too high, you're not going to have an image. And yeah, the settings, I haven't gone wild on the settings. I'll fire up the Garmin right now and just show you where it's at and what's working for me right now. So one thing I should point out too, your rig might already do this and you might just not have been looking. Try keeping your screen on and just, like I said, you're not going to get that clear, pristine image where you can see everything. It's a lot more subtle. But your rig might already be doing this. You might already be set up good enough and you're just not noticing. So I've always got this one full screen side imaging. I got 13 volts coming back from the battery. Like I said, GT56. I've got it on 170 kilohertz. That's in the mega range on this. Make sure your DI is set to a separate frequency. Otherwise they'll have interference. That's just a general tip while you're here. And yeah, we'll get into the menu here. There's really nothing crazy, like brightness, auto medium, frequency. Got that maxed out. I have played with some other frequencies a little bit. I found that's the best because you'll get that kind of hard return here and there. 70-foot range, that's important. I wouldn't go a whole lot further than that. This is a floodlight color palette. My buddy Tommy from Australia, he's a Garmin tech, and he put me on that one. So shout out to that crazy man. That's it. It's simple. I'm not a super complicated guy. Don't beat up on me too bad in the bass and walleye tournaments now. Hope you learned something here, and yeah, probably have a few more videos rolling. So again, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Have fun.